What's up, Internet? It's Dumbass, Panicos Gaming, and we're driving race cars today. Yeah, Forza Motorsport. One of the racing games of all time. That's about the nicest thing I can say about it. Let's not go that far. It's not bad. It's just, it's very okay. But yeah, we're just gonna do some races here. Try and upgrade this a little bit more. There's much more I can even do to it. Because a lot of these will like actually put me over the performance limit for this class. Oh, actually, that's about perfect. Okay, fuck it. We'll just do that. Now, right. Depending on how you exit that menu, it acts weird. But yeah, I don't know. Like this, it continues to build on what Forza Motorsport 7 was, because I guess this is like a reboot, kind of. It has been like 6 years since 7 came out. But you know, it builds on the physics from 7, which built on the physics from 6, which built on the physics from 5. Basically, you can play any one of those games, you're basically playing the same game. There are some differences, though. But yeah, I don't know. There's just some... Again, it's like a very similar to the previous games. It does look better. I would hope it looks better. Let's go ahead and turn down the volume a little bit. I can't see where the settings are. Hold on. Let's try 75%. We'll do 70. Because that was going to be a little bit too loud for, like, constant playing. Even that might be a little loud. Oh, good. We've already fucked up the first turn. But part of that is because of the, trying to pause. But yeah, it doesn't feel like they changed a whole lot with this game, if I'm going to be honest. Let's get through this turn before I start messing with stuff. And then, yeah, some of the things they did change, like, I really don't understand some of it. Yep. Why did it take so long to load in audio? That was really weird. Let's do 55. Probably should have done this before starting. That's an okay spot. But yeah, like, something that I like that they added to this is that they added practice and qualifying. Except they didn't really add qualifying. It's an option in, like, doing custom races. But as far as I can tell, nowhere in the, like, campaign, if you want to call it that, do you ever have to qualify. It's always, you just do, like, a couple practice laps, and then you get to pick your position on the grid. Which, to be fair, I'm glad that you at least let you do that. In previous games, your starting position was determined by the difficulty. Now they've actually desynced those. But then they also took steps back in other ways, because now there's, like, some of the different difficulty things, like, say, the penalties and the fuel and the tire usage, like consumption, so having to actually pit, as well as like the damage. All of those are kind of bundled together to one of 3 groups. You can do, like, I forget what the different ones are. I'm on Sport, which is the middle one. So there is, like, tire and fuel usage, and it's like medium level of penalties, so it's usually not too strict, although there's been a couple of times where just game being a game kind of screwed me for something that wasn't my fault, and something I'm not sure you would get in trouble for in an actual race. Like where I was on the outside of a turn and the other two cars came up and to avoid a collision with them, because they came up beside me, I had to like go off track a little bit, like actually all the way over the line with all 4 tires. And then I got penalized for that. It was just like, But yeah, it's weird that they even like have the tire and fuel stuff, because again, in the campaign, at no point will that ever come into effect. None of the campaign races are long enough to ever have you run out of fuel or need to replace tires. Why did I turn so poorly there? I know I probably got on the gas a little bit early, but it's like my car just stopped turning. That was more than just understeer anyways. Okay, that's gonna... I'm definitely getting penalties there. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter anyways, it's practice. I'm probably not going to do too great in this, by the way, because I am... Sorry, I thought I noticed something. I am playing this through OBS, so there is a little bit of input lag. Or at least, it seems like there's input lag. There's latency between when I do something and when I actually see it. Not too bad, but it is enough that, like, even if I cared at all to do multiplayer in racing games, I would definitely not want to do it like this. But yeah, even though, like, they added qualifying, but you never need to do it. And then they have the tire and fuel stuff, but like that, I don't know. It's just weird because none of the races are long enough to do it. In fact, actually, I got really excited during the tutorial stuff, as annoying as that stuff was, because it was about 50 minutes from the point that I like clicked on the game on my desktop, because I played the PC version a little bit before I got my Xbox. But between clicking on the icon to start the game and like actually getting to play the game outside of the very handheld tutorial was like almost an hour, which was very frustrating because a lot of it is just fucking cutscenes. Why the fuck is there, no joke, like it felt like 20 minutes at least of cutscenes in a racing game before you even start the game? Apparently no one has learned their lesson from when they made Need for Speed The Run, that dumpster fire of a game. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, like one thing that I got excited about is that they mentioned, like, okay, we're loading you in at like near the end of an endurance race. I'm like, oh yes, we're gonna get endurance races again. Because that's like one of my favorite things about some of the old games, especially stuff like Gran Turismo and stuff, whatnot, is did it keep the correct tires? Yes. I'm gonna add some more front downforce, I think. We'll bump it up a tiny bit, because I think I might have been bottoming out on one of those turns. Oh yeah, why is my downforce so low? Jesus. To be fair, that might be overkill. But yeah, I love doing the... Oh yeah, here. So yeah, you have Drivatar difficulty. Oh yeah, and you lose Rewind, which... In past games, I would like never use Rewind, but this one I've been using it a lot, honestly. But yeah, like I would love to be able to turn on damage, have moderate penalties, and still have Rewind. But there's no way to like split them up. You have to choose all of them. And then there is the Drivatar difficulty, which is, or the AI difficulty. And then you actually get to pick your grid position. So I always start from the back, and then I just have the difficulty set to 3, just so that it's probably too easy, to be honest. I probably could bump it up to 4, but I swear to God, every time I do that, like, immediately there's a car that just, like, whatever car's at in first place at the beginning just takes off, and you can never catch them. Or you might be able to catch them, but the problem is you have to get through all of the other AI cars. So I'm just like, okay, well, I would still like to win the race, so I guess I'll just go with 3 and start from the back. But yeah, there's no endurance races in this game. Or again, at least in the campaign. I'm sure. What the fuck are you doing? Come on. The AI is really bad. They are so bad at doing rolling starts. Granted, again, that might be just because of the difficulty setting. Maybe at higher levels, they're like actually smarter and not just faster, like every racing game does. But I would have no idea about that. But like also, at like a middle of the road difficulty, they should not be randomly like brake checking. And I try and do what I can to drive clean. Doesn't mean I do a good job of it, but I try to. But yeah, it's so weird they like even specifically mention endurance races. They have all these settings that would be perfect for like endurance races, right? But they aren't any. Like, it seems like they have it set up so that in the future they could, in theory, add more tours. Then those could potentially have longer races in them, but I just don't know if that's going to happen. Oh, also, my model is blocking the mini-map in the bottom left. But that's fine. I could raise it up, I guess, to put it above it, but I don't care. See, I don't know. There's just like little changes like that they made where it's like they took the right steps into a good direction for this game, but then they didn't complete it. And now it's just like, feels like it's only half done. I also feel like there isn't a whole hell of a lot of like content for the single player. That's going to be a penalty. I might be rewinding on that. Never mind. Also, to be fair, I probably have such a big lead by the end of this race that it doesn't matter. But yeah, they still have the same very ugly Forza wing. Which, again, if you played any of the Forzas since Motorsport 5 came out, at least, it might be even older than that, you'll know what I mean. Where it's the, just the rear wing that you can put on basically any car. So that way they didn't have to like go and get one specific for that car or anything. It's just one that just is kind of a default. Which I get they need one, but one, it's ugly as hell. And two, it's like these guys just haven't ever paid attention to the fact there's other racing games on the market. Because Gran Turismo 6, which as a reminder came out at the same time as Forza Motorsport 5, which was a decade ago, had it set up. And mind you, Gran Turismo 6, not renowned for its customizing the cars. At least in terms of visual customization. Like, you could pick paint, you could pick wheels, and that was about it. And, like, you had some aero options. But even then, like, there was no decal system or anything like that. But even in that game, there were settings where you could at least change the height of the wing and how, like, far apart the support posts are that, like, are actually holding it to the car, and what shape the end caps for the wing is. In fact, I think you can even change the wing shape. There was like 5 or something options for, you know, the end plates and the actual wing, and then, you know, there was a range for changing the other stuff. But like, actually, maybe it wasn't the support post you could change. I think it was just the overall width of the wing. But like, a game from a decade ago had this, guys. Why have we not caught up to this yet? you don't have to go too crazy with it. But like, I feel like that's stuff that, not necessarily the like background like tech of it, the stuff of like actually making it changeable and whatnot, but like the design, just have an intern like come up with a handful of designs for like a day. I'm terrible at taking that turn. I feel like Spa is one of my worst tracks. I just cannot get some of these turns. I do love it, I'm just terrible at it. But yeah, it's just stuff like that. They did at least finally get rid of the annoying thing where every time you would buy a car, again, I think this starts at least in Motorsport 5. But every time you get a new car, instead of or no, you wouldn't even bought the car yet. It was while you were buying it. Instead of showing you like the manufacturer paint colors for it, it would show you liveries. But like, it would be like one good livery that was the person that they paid to actually make like custom designs for the cars, and then there would be like one of those, one other like actually good design, and then the rest would just be like the most recent designs that have been uploaded, which 90% of them were someone just like not paying attention and they just like painted their car a slightly different color and then didn't realize that like they clicked yes to actually upload it to the servers as like so other people can use it. So, and otherwise it would just be like really bad decals or designs and stuff. Super annoying. It would always show you those first, and you had to press like Y to actually look at paint colors. This game, at least, it just shows you the paint colors. It like, and then you have to go in later, and if you want to like download a design for it, you have to just do that separately, which is much better, I think. I'd still rather like, I just wish they would have been flipped entirely. Just have it be shows you the paint, but if you want to see community designs, then press a button for that. But like the design system, exactly the same as. Why is the top of my car so red? Huh? I mean, it's obviously supposed to be glare or something from the sun, but that is like very red. That was weird. But yeah, the design stuff has not changed at all. It's almost exactly the same as it was in Motorsport 5 again. They have added a couple of things to it over the last decade. Like you can actually paint brake calipers now, which again is something you can do in Gran Turismo 6, maybe even Gran Turismo 5 actually. Yeah, I forget which game added that. It was either Motorsport 7 or Horizon 4 added that. Painting calipers. And like they added the mask system where you can use a decal, like say a star shape. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what's going on with the lighting on this track. But yeah, like say if you basically you can use the decals to actually cut out their own shape in other decals, if that makes sense, which probably doesn't. But like, there's been little upgrades, but the core system is still. I way overshot that turn. Jesus. Yeah, talking and also having a little bit of input lag is not great. Unfortunately, though, I'm not honestly much better than this. I usually just don't go off track as often. But my actual, like, racing ability is not very good. Especially, like, wheel-to-wheel racing. Yeah, no. What was I gonna say? But yeah, alright, so yeah, it's like a lot of the systems are still very similar, where it very much feels like all they did was just build on the previous generation of games more. Which, in their defense, I understand there isn't, like, that much that they really can change. This isn't like the Horizon games where it's like, yeah, you create a whole new map and then, you know, you get like a bunch of new content. Like, yeah, obviously, track racing is more or less going to be track racing. You can improve the physics, you add new tracks and new cars, even though actually this game lost a lot of both of those. There are some new, like, new tracks to the game, and there are some new cars, but they lost way more than they gained, I think. Which I understand. Some of that's just licensing, but I do wish they had more, like, we'll say silly cars, but not necessarily. Just like stuff like, you know, a few SUVs, a few pickups, you know, stuff like that. Stuff that, like, all the previous Motorsport games had. Or most of them did. What am I doing so wrong in that turn? Jesus. But yeah, just some stuff that isn't necessarily like the first thing you would think of to drive around a track. Because honestly, usually those cars are like, they're just fun to have, just to have something kind of unorthodox to mess around with. But I mean, that's, you know, that's a very minor complaint. It's just, the game feels basically like it's just a slightly improved version of Motorsport 5, or Motorsport 7, which was slightly improved 6, which was slightly improved 5. Which, in and of itself, is kind of fine, but they try to make a bit of noise about the fact that this was, like, the new game, and, like, they really were doing a bunch with, like, to rebuild, you know, rebuild and create, like, big changes, I guess. And it just feels like it's literally just the same thing with a new coat of paint. I don't know, I'm probably being a little bit too harsh. To be fair, again, Motorsport 7 came out 6 years ago. So I'm probably giving it more credit than it deserves. Literally, where was I even supposed to go there? Yeah, the penalties are like... Honestly, I feel like the collision penalties are probably more generous than they should be. As in, like, you don't get penalized as often as you probably should. But it kind of needs to be, because, again, the AI is really bad. It's more or less bumper cars for the first lap of the race. And then the off-track, I think, is usually... Why were they braking there? What the fuck? See what I mean about, like, the random brake checking? So, like, it almost has to be generous about the collisions because, like, the AI will just do this shit. Like, see, that wasn't a brake check. That was, like, they didn't need to brake as early as they did, but... Go fuck yourself. 2.5 seconds because they braked or broke way too early. Well, okay. Maybe that wasn't as early as I thought. Oh no, it was definitely way too early. They also did kind of exit slow. Yeah, okay, that was probably my fault. What is happening? That one wasn't quite as bad as it usually is. Because that one, they were in front of me and they were mostly trying to stick to the racing line. But also, like, I was clearly fucking lazy through there. I don't know. Yeah, God, the rolling starts are so bad. There will be times where you're, like, basically, even though it's a rolling start, you're basically starting from almost a standstill because the AI just, like, bunches up and then panics and doesn't know what the hell to do. And so they, like, all just stop, and then it counts down to it hits 0 and you go. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm so glad the cars in the front are like already almost at 100. I'm at like 5. God, we are like way back. Trying to cut through the traffic there was not going well. I do feel like my tire pressure's too low. Maybe not though. I don't know. I used to do a lot of like tuning with cars in Gran Turismo 6 and Forza Motorsport 6 actually, funnily enough. And I was definitely Gran Turismo 6, like I was pretty good at it. Like I had a decent feel for it. And then Forza, not quite as much, but I could kind of do it. But it's been so long since I've done it, like most of that stuff. Like I know some of the basics, but I have no feel for like baselines. And I will say, one thing they did is they added a lot more tuning options. Because there's more stuff that you can mess with in terms of just like how the car handles, basically. Which is nice, because it's stuff that's very useful to be able to have if you want to get hardcore into it. That's the break, but that's okay. That didn't punish us. Yeah, I don't know. This game's just... It's just a game. I don't know. That's kind of like the best way to put it. I'm not going to run out and say if you want a track-focused racing game, absolutely go out and buy this one. I feel like the Assetto Corsas, either the new one, Competition, I believe, or however you're supposed to pronounce it, because it's in Italian, I'm pretty sure. But that one's pretty good. And then also, if you want to like modded cars, if you're on PC, the original Assetto Corsa is like probably one of the best for that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you have an Xbox, especially if you have Game Pass, like, I didn't pay for this game. I'm just playing it on Game Pass, and, like, for something that isn't free, because you're paying the subscription, but it's part of a subscription that I was already paying for, so that's fine. But it's a fun time. I'm gonna complete the game. I'm gonna look into maybe doing all the achievements. I'm not convinced that I will, because some of them seem like they're gonna be really ass. Specifically the that turned so terribly. There's like one for maxing out the vehicle mastery level for like 5 different manufacturers, which means with, I believe, is it 5? I forget how many manufacturers it is, but basically you have to hit level 50 and 5 different cars for that manufacturer, which is just like absurd. As you can see, this car here in the top right, I think it said I'm level 47 with this car, which that's probably one of the more controversial things about this game, but I'm not actually bothered by it. Oh, I didn't show it. Oh, we're doing the full circuit. 2 laps of race length, okay. Yeah, whatever car level I'm at, that's after like 3 full tours. What button did I hit? I must have hit the wrong button. I must have hit B when I thought I was hitting A. Whoops. Yeah, so I'm level 47, but this is after like almost 3 full tours. So for this performance stuff, I guess I didn't actually show it off. Instead of like... Oh. Really? Hitting left and right on the D-pad doesn't do that? It's only the bumpers? I don't know how I feel about that. Granted, I only just noticed that, apparently, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I just assumed it would work. But yeah, instead of buying these with credits, like you would in the previous games, you have the car point system. Hey, video game companies, please, for the love of Christ, all of you, can we stop calling shit CP? Please? For the love of fuck? Please? Yeah. I don't know what the obsession is that gaming companies have with fucking that acronym. Or abbreviation, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Stop it. Call it CMP for car mastery points or whatever. Just, god damn it. Anyways. So as you earn experience with the car, you level up. And leveling up, basically it just lets you, well, so it unlocks more parts. So when you start, the only things that you can equip are exhaust and a couple other things like exhaust, air filter, and like, I think that would be it on this one. I think like manifolds or something like that. But you're limited on your parts, so as you level up, you unlock more parts that you can actually access. And then on top of that, each level you get more points that you can use, and you actually have to use points to equip upgrades, basically. So the nice thing is, like, if I unequip this exhaust, I get my points back. So it's not like you're wasting points, and it does kind of like limit you on Is there something I wanted to change here? Oh wow, that actually made my numbers worse. Okay, we'll leave those. Yeah, we'll just leave that right there. Let me do this, though. Yeah, we'll see what that does. But yeah, a lot of people were not happy with that change. And to be fair, they did actually put out a patch pretty quickly that reduced a lot of the levels that you needed. Because it used to be for like the highest like changes you can do, like engine swaps and drivetrain conversions, stuff like that. You had to get all the way up to at least level 40. It might have been 50 even. Which is like, that's a little bit much. Yeah, so that was pretty bad. So they patched it pretty quickly. So now I think for the last one you get is at like level 25. Which after one tour, that being like one series of races basically, that'll usually have you kind of at least like in the ballpark of 25. So that's not as bad. But I do understand the complaints about it because basically it punishes you for not just using the same car, even though the game forces you to change cars for basically every tour. So that's a little annoying. And also, like, once you beat all the tours, kind of the fun of any of the Forza games, any racing game in general, really, is like, once you've done everything, just start building whatever the hell you want and just screw around with it and see what happens. You know, throw a giant V8 into a car that never would have come with a V8, right? Or just, you know, just build really just kind of crazy stuff. Just mess with cars, basically, right? Just have fun with it, you know. Who cares? Because you already beat the game. So that all that's left is to just screw around and see what wacky stuff you can build or what cool stuff you can build or whatever you want to do. And oh, I should probably stretch out my transmission a little bit for this track. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Not a whole lot, because I don't want to, like... I know I will absolutely forget about it, and then I won't change it back when I do another track and wonder why I'm, like, accelerating so slowly. But yeah, you can't really do that in this game because you have to drive the car for hours and hours before you get, like, all the options available to you. Again, it's not as bad now because they did patch it, so it'll probably be a couple of hours, but it's just like, that kind of really sucks. But at the same time, for the actual, like, campaign part of it, I don't mind it at all. It's completely fine. Like, honestly, I wasn't even that bothered with it before they lowered a bunch of levels, and then once they did lower levels, it's like, yeah, who cares? Like, it means that as you use the car, you're actually going to slowly build it up and make it faster, and you're somewhat thinking about how you want to spend your points and stuff, instead of how basically you do in all the other games is that you'd be like, oh, this is a max performance level I can hit? Cool, I'm just going to buy parts to max it out to that, and then using the exact same car for 5 races or whatever. So yeah, I don't actually, again, just for the campaign part of it, I don't mind the, like, car level and the parts system. But I totally understand that, like, why other people mind it. And it does mean that, like, once I beat this game, I won't really have much reason to go back to it. Though again, it does seem like they're going to be slowly rotating in new tours. Because, like, actually this one, the open classes, where there's no, like, it's not specific cars or limited to a region or whatever, it's just the performance rating. So as long as your car is within the performance requirement, you can use it. That's the only thing. The PI rating or whatever, performance index or whatever they call it. But yeah, anyways, just trying to remember where I was going with that. This one has a thing on it now that says there's only like 4 or 5 days left for this this tour, or this. It's not even, is it a tour? Whatever the actual, like, correct naming for it is. But yeah, it made it seem like it's gonna expire in a few days here, which is why I'm actually focusing on this one, because there's other more themed events that you can do. Okay, oh, nice. I hadn't even realized it actually tells you what the max speed for each gear is now. That's actually really nice. What was I, 197 before? Let's get me to 205. Oh, this is something that's really annoying. Basically, if you win races, the game will just it'll just constantly pester you to make the difficulty higher. When it's like, no, if I wanted higher difficulty, I would just select higher difficulty, guys. What's annoying as hell is I want to say it's Motorsport 7 that I think it was like Horizon 3 had started doing this, and it would just do it constantly all the time. Or I forget which game it was, but it might have been Motorsport 7 where it would pop up once, but then you could just tell it to never pop up again, which that didn't bother me too much. It's also annoying because that pop-up on this one is like, either raise the difficulty or set yourself further back on the grid. I set myself at the back of the grid every race. I'm literally already doing that. Why are you showing me this? Oh, and I didn't mention earlier that, so you can move yourself up as high or as low as you want on the starting grid, except that you can never set yourself above 3rd place. Oh yeah, this is one of the tracks that's worst about the AI on the startup here. Like, what are they doing there? That little bit. Speaking of little issues, actually, somehow the Xbox version is actually better than the PC version. Well, I know how. It's because they, again, random brake checks. And then whatever the hell this clusterfuck that was there was. Okay. I'll admit, I'm being part of the problem here. I might be getting a penalty there. Wow. Kind of surprised he didn't, actually, because I absolutely cut the track. I guess because I just stopped driving. Usually whenever I do something that I think will actually get me a penalty, I take my finger off the trigger for a second. That was entirely my fault on that one. God, the AI is so bad. Come on. Anyways. But yeah, I don't know if this is just a me problem, but I kind of don't think it is. On the PC version, the game takes, no joke, like 2 minutes to start. From when, like, it gets to that, the opening, like, loading screen. Not like the title thing or the developer logo stuff or the Microsoft logo stuff, but, like, once it's, like, the title screen, and it says that it's, like, loading, the game sits there for about 2 minutes, and it's not doing anything. I've looked at Task Manager, so it's not like it's desperately trying to load a bunch of assets or something. It's just struggling. Let me go around this way. I had a feeling they were going to cut me off if I went around on the right. But yeah, it's not doing anything. It just sits there for like 2 minutes. It then finally says that it's connecting to online. And then from there, it's about another 30 seconds until the game actually, like, lets you start. I don't know what's wrong with it. It makes absolutely no sense. That's why I don't think it's my computer issue. Because, trust me, my computer has issues. There's a reason why I finally said screw it and got an Xbox, just so that way I can just play games and not have to worry about performance issues. I can't believe again I didn't get a penalty there. Yeah, it's just very weird that it does that, because there's no reason for it. On Xbox, it basically starts, like, that loading screen is like 5 seconds long. And then, also, I've noticed, so there was one night where I left my computer on overnight. So I guess it was one day, because it was the next day. And it been on, whatnot, and then, you know, after a while, I'm like, oh, you know what, let me play a little bit of Forza. So then I load it up, wait the, like, 3 minutes it takes for the game to actually start. And I'm playing it. And normally on the PC version, I was getting like 70 to 80 FPS average. I forget what I had my settings set to, but it was, you know, up around mid-level settings, right? I have an RTX 2070, so nothing too crazy. And I was running well enough. Again, 70 to 80 FPS. Well, this day I'm playing, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with my FPS? Like, I was like in the 40s, and like sometimes even getting down into the 30s. I was like, what the hell is going on? Pop open Task Manager again. My GPU is only being half utilized. No idea why. Absolutely no idea why. And then I restarted my computer, loaded the game back up again. Again, had to wait like 3 to 5 minutes for the game to actually start, because that's just how this game rolls apparently, on PC anyways. And start playing, and what do you know, I'm using my whole GPU again and at like 80 FPS again. So I don't know what the hell is causing that. I did try to test it with a different game doing the same thing. And that test I don't think really included anything, because even though it was the same situation, it was I was playing Borderlands Game of the Year Enhanced Edition, which even after restarting was only using like 50 to 60% of my GPU anyways, so that didn't really tell me anything. So yeah, it's very possible, because again, my PC, this install is a little bit jank. I definitely have plenty of things that just take way longer to load than they probably should sometimes. Like actually a VC face, usually when I like click to start it, it's like a solid 30 seconds before the window actually pops up the first time. And when I close it and then open it again, then immediately it'll open up in like 5 seconds. So I don't know. My PC is jank. We'll just leave it at that. So that's why, like, at first I kind of assumed, before I noticed the FPS issue, I was like, yeah, it's probably just my PC being weird. Whatever. Oh, nice. That's level 50. So yeah, now I just have to do that with, like, 24 other cars. I need to turn off the quest achievement, or quest pop-up thing. In theory, at some point, I'll have enough of those points banked up that I can get a free month of Game Pass Ultimate. That would be nice. Yeah, speaking of my very jank PC, I might actually be getting an upgrade soon. Which is funny, because I just bought this Xbox because I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to swing any sort of PC upgrade anytime soon. At least not like a major upgrade like I would want to do. Although admittedly, I did, well, part of the problem is that my CPU is from before resizable bar being a thing. So like I could probably just buy, like my CPU is fine for gaming. And even for, like, my CPU is fine in terms of performance, I guess I should say. Because again, some of the features now that it doesn't have. But a lot of the new GPUs, like Intel GPUs specifically, will not work without resizable bar. Or they'll work, but the performance is going to be so bad that there's no point in bothering. And it definitely is very helpful for the NVIDIA and AMD GPUs as well, I'm pretty sure. So like I kind of need to upgrade my CPU as well, and so now that's like a full system upgrade. Which I just don't have the money for right now. But my buddy, who actually I got this 2070 from, he might be upgrading his system soon here. And since I'll be the one putting that together, that means I'm just going to get all of his old parts. So, depending on how far he goes with it, I should be getting the next generation compared to my CPU. So I have a 3700X, Ryzen 3700X, and he has, I believe, a Ryzen 5700X. So step up in generation there. And then also a 3080 he has, which would be a massive upgrade for my over my 2070. So I might end up just having to build new PC anyways. Well, new to me PC. So, brand discount per max level car, but then it says total Nissan discount is 4%. But the discount is supposed to be 5% per car. I'm not sure the people at turn 10 understand how to do math. Which would be really weird to be a programmer that can't do math. But that's not even math, that's just you entered the wrong number. I'm gonna go look at that real quick here. Also, I will look at this achievement. Let me see here. Hold on. Yeah, you see there for the open class tour, it says there's 5 days left on it, which is weird because they have this featured one. Which actually, like when this one launched, you could only do this one, and then after a few days this became available, then after a few more that one became available, etc. So I figured that one would be the timed one because it seemed like that would be how that would work. But for some reason this one is. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't really matter to me. Let me go check Nissan cars real quick. Let's see. Lincoln Co. What? What is that? What country is this from? Oh, that would explain why I don't recognize the car, China. Okay. Well, hey, at least this time it's not the Chinese minivan. I assume, yeah, oh my god, I keep on hitting B because I'm like pulling up the details, but I don't actually want to leave that menu, I just want to close the details. Okay. Yeah, see, it says here that my discount is 5%, so... yeah, I don't know. Did it say the recommended cars were? Oh, okay, I already own that car. Why is it featured when I already own it? Come on, turn 10. Alright, well, let's do some more career mode here. Yes, we'll just hop into the next one I have. So yeah, I've already done all of the championships, I guess, for the first 2 tours, the open class tour, and then also the track tour, which is, again, featured, but I don't know why. Now, I'm pretty sure I already have a Mustang here. Yeah, I do already own a Mustang. Okay. I don't know what it is, but this, like, image that it shows looks like... that does not look right for Mustang. It looks like what a Mustang would be in GTA or something. I just don't know what it is about it. Oh yeah, I had actually like painted it. I assume I can't like change my decals on it from here, right? No. Okay, hold on. Let's just go. We'll go back, select the Mustang, and then we'll see if there's any anime liveries for it that I don't have to look too hard for. My cars. Find designs. Actually, I don't hate that one. I do hate they have like 38 of the same design. I hate that again, the like livery system is like, why? I hate that people gonna spam it and they all like end up sucking. See, at least in the older games, like the recommended designs, the first one would at least be the I forget what the name of the person that made them was, but it was someone that like they used the livery system to make designs, but I think they were like actually an employee, so they're supposed to basically just like show off what's possible. Search. Let's say cartoon, because I think usually the alright, well, we won't do that one. I'm not feeling like pushing the limits of what Twitch will let me get away with today. I really wish you could like look at the full... Oh, that's kind of cool. The only problem is it means that I have to... So many of these are like misclassified and it's so annoying. Are we gonna load anymore, game? Okay, apparently that one just isn't gonna load. Like, those don't have anything to do with cartoons. Also, it is really weird they don't just like have an anime category with how like popular some of the things are. Like, at least that's like close, right? But some of them are literally just like gradients. Okay. Let's go back up to the top here, because some of these ones near the top are actually pretty decent. I do, listen, I'll be real here, I do kind of like this one. This one goes hard, but... And I've already... I just can't tell what the hell's going on in that one. Because again, like, you can't, like, preview the whole livery. You have to just import it and then load it onto the car and then look at how it looks. I really don't feel like simping for Blizzard right now, to be honest. Alright, you know what? We're gonna go with this one. I just hope it looks good and doesn't have, like, any hate speech on it. I suppose we could always just search again, too. I feel like this is taking an awfully long time. Okay. It's fate. Can I just, like, look at my car? Why is this, like, so laggy? Is this... Oh, it isn't... This is one thing I really don't like about... That I really don't like about the Xbox version. Why are they played across it like that? That's really bad looking. We're not gonna use this one. Like, this sign looks fine. The other sign looks really stupid. But yeah, for some reason, like, the actual gameplay will run at 60. I have the, I guess I should specify, I have the game set to run in performance RT. So it's, 1080, 60 FPS. And then, it has, like, ray tracing, I guess. Alright, let's just Let's try searching for character. See if that works better. That one's not bad. Again, this one I've already used on a different car, so I don't feel like using it again. Oh, you know what? Oh, I shouldn't have hit A on that. I just noticed as I was hitting that the hood being like a completely different color than the rest of the car. Or not completely different color, but it's a different shade. So I don't know how good this will end up looking. Yeah, that's alright. I wish the hood color matched better. Also, I don't know what's going on. Oh, is it like a color shift paint maybe? Maybe not. I can't tell. Whatever, we're just gonna roll with it because I don't feel like sitting here all night trying to decide on what weird livery I want to run with. Even though I will probably change this again once I'm done with this stream. Oh, also, this is another weird bug with this. Sometimes the livery just doesn't load on your car in the in here, which is annoying. But yeah, I don't know why. Some areas of the game doesn't like... It only runs in 30 FPS, because I guess it really wants to crank the settings, but it just makes it look really bad when they do that. Did I get tires already? Ooh. Wow, I really can't do a whole lot here. Okay, that'll work fine. Yeah, we lose a little bit of speed, but it's going to handle a hell of a lot better. Which is, like, kind of important, because it is a Mustang. I keep on hitting the wrong options in there. Because there's a way to just, like, equip your parts and then not, like, have the game ask if you want to download a tune or something. But I keep doing it wrong. Why does it have these set to? Really, that much worse, huh? Yeah, looking at the numbers on the left is a good way to see, like, if your changes are actually helping or not. Not perfect, because sometimes it'll say, like, it went down or went up when it, like, doesn't actually matter. Or, like, it can just be a little bit finicky sometimes, but... Like, here, all of our acceleration numbers are going up, which actually doesn't make any sense with the lower PSI in the front. But then, like, randomly I lower even more, and now everything's going up again. I think that's a good balance for right now. Also, I don't know why I can change this, because I don't have the brake upgrade, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's... It still bugs me how there's just no reason to ever change the fuel setting, because there's like, there's no race where you will ever like be going more laps than how much fuel you have. First turn, huh? Already I'm doing bad? Good. Man, I really need a suspension upgrade on this car. That's fine. That was me driving that. That actually wasn't the AI being stupid. I'm more than happy to blame the AI usually, but that was just me trying to be a little too aggressive. I do feel like they also turned up how quickly you gain XP. I don't remember that being part of the update, but I feel like you get a lot more XP from races now. Because, like, this car I've already used for a tour, at least one, and I just hit level 10. But with the other, like, ones that I've done since the update, I've been, like, again, around, like, level 25. There we go. We're doing a little bit better now. Now there's actually some heat in the tires. But yeah, you get car XP, which by the way is different from driver XP, which is annoying. Because driver XP does literally nothing, I'm pretty sure, so I don't know why that's a mechanic. I guess as a way to show off how much of the game you've played, or how much of the game you've played. But it's still kind of dumb. And I guess I think at least certain levels, you get credit rewards as well. But credits aren't as important in this game compared to previous games, since you don't need to buy parts with them. You just use it to buy cars. I do think they're a little bit more stagey on the credits than they have been in past titles. Because there have been a couple of times where I've used where I've had to do a different tour than the one that I wanted to, or a different championship than the one I wanted to, because I didn't have enough credits to buy a car for that other championship. Specifically, at one point I needed, I had to buy a Ferrari FFXK for one of them. I didn't have to buy that one, but that's the one I ended up buying. I think because it was the cheapest in the group, actually. But I had to go do a different championship in order to get the money to do it. So they are a little bit more tight on the credits, but again, since you don't need to actually buy your car parts, it doesn't matter as much. Yeah, anyways, you get car XP for every time you overtake in the race, which is part of why I always set myself to the back of the grid, just so you can get more points. And then every time you take a turn, you get a rating for it, and that rating is, I can see up at the top there, I got a 7.4 for the last turn. So if you get an 8, you get, I think it's 20 points, and if you get a 9 or better, then you get the 50 XP. And then, this card looks so dumb. Like, it's kind of cool, but also it's very dumb at the same time. Which I guess can kind of describe a Mustang pretty accurately. So actually, it's the perfect livery. So yeah, overtakes, the quality of your turns, and then during practice, you'll also notice that it like shows the personal best for some of them. So the ones where it's actually timed for that turn, or set a turn sometimes when there's multiple curves in quick succession. Every time you set a personal best, I believe you get 25. Because you can't actually, you can't skip practice, so you don't have to do it. But I do it just for that reason, to get more points. Because again, I might... Oh, I was going to check that, actually. I'm actually surprised I don't have this one yet, the Night Owl one. The stuff for, like, sharing stuff, which is always annoying. Top 3 of a series with a stock car and Builder's Cup. Oh, I need to remember to do that. Oh, 5... Oh, I have to hit... Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think I got these two mixed up. So yeah, I have to, like, actually max out the brand discount for a brand. And then also, on top of that, I'll have to do 5 other cars. So that's not bad at all. Oh, sorry. No, this is the one. Yeah, you have to do with 30 cars. That's going to take a minute. And yeah, a bunch of multiplayer bullshit, which... I get why people want to do multiplayer stuff. Oh, Rivals, which isn't too bad. And yeah, a bunch for, like, certain, like, specific tracks with certain cars. A bunch more multiplayer bullshit. That one shouldn't be too hard to do. Especially because so many people already have it. That, I swear I've done that one, but he didn't give it to me, which was annoying. And then, yeah, this one you will never do during, like, normal gameplay, or the campaign mode, because, again, there's, as far as I know, no races that would require you to do that. I guess you could randomly pit during any of these races to do it, but I feel like your odds of winning in that situation are not great. Although, oh, that, like, almost pitted me. If you set the AI to the lowest difficulty, it could be very possible to win in that situation, where you pit on, like, a 3-lap race. It would have to be something like Le Mans or whatever. I can never pronounce that one correctly. I can never, like, get the right amount of pronunciation on the N at the end there. What is with this AI, dude? Thank you for not penalizing me for that game. Like, I get that I have the just, like, randomly braking. I don't get it. Like, there's not taking good lines and being kind of overall slow and stuff. But this AI just, like, takes it to a whole nother level. I don't even know what to say about the AI on some of this, dude. This is absurd. Like, see, that there, okay. They were braking for way too long going into that turn. They didn't need to do that. But that's, like, something that makes sense. Randomly braking on the straights and, like, just randomly driving into each other and shit makes no sense. That's not like, you know, I have it set to a low difficulty setting, even though I really don't. Again, I'm at, like, 3, which I guess is on the lower half, but it's not, like, 1. But even then, like, they shouldn't be that bad. That's not even just bad. That's just, like, erratic. Alright. Hold on a sec. I had an itch in my ear. Like, not the actual ear canal, but, like, inside the actual ear part, I guess. And it was like, well, I can try and wait this out to the end of this race, but it's probably going to drive me nuts, so I'm just going to scratch it real quick. Yeah, see, once, like, the AI gets a little bit separated, they're not too bad. Like, this is kind of the level of difficulty that I would want. Like, yeah, it's still basically a rolling obstacle course, but, you know, it's a little bit more interesting than just driving in a circle by myself, right? And this lead car is, like, way out there. Because I can only see the two in front of me. I can't see the number 3 car. Or the number 1 car, rather, actually. Which is a problem, because we only got 3 laps to catch up. But we do have less AI bullshit to deal with. I say is, like, the AI brakes for way too late in a turn instead of accelerating when they're already well past the apex. Okay, there's the first place car. He's way up there. I think it said I'm only a half second behind, though. That has to be off my best time. That can't be off of the AI, like the lead AI car. Yeah, that's based on my times. Okay, that's annoying. I would much rather know how many seconds ahead the lead car is than how close to my previous lap I'm at. Especially because the first couple laps don't mean anything anyways because of having to deal with all the traffic. Okay, this is very doable. I was a little bit worried I was only going to pull second here. Yeah, this is why, like, I can't really... Well, I shouldn't say can't. I don't want to turn up the difficulty any further, even though it is kind of low, but just sometimes this lead car will just kind of take off because they don't get stuck in traffic. And then like, at 4, I just never end up having a chance to catch up because the race is too short and I have to pass too many other cars. And yes, I could also move myself a little bit further up the grid. Actually, if we end up doing any races on Lime Rock Park tonight, that is what I will be doing. Because Lime Rock is, like, it might be impossible against the AI if you start from the very back. Unless you have a lot of laps. Because it's way too narrow to be able to pass in a lot of spots. And the AI is just so erratic that, like, the lead car might actually, like, start lapping you at some point if you try and stick around. Like, I have almost been lapping cars before on that track when I start from the front. Oh, that's a penalty. There is no way. It's just so weird. Sometimes I feel like the track cutting or off-track penalties anyways are a little bit more generous than they really should be. Because, like, that was a pretty cut and dry one. But also when they do like award penalties, that's a weird way to say that. But I think it's technically correct anyways. When they do, it's usually way, like, harsher than it needs to be. You have to get at least an 8.1, and 8 doesn't count for getting XP. That's kind of really annoying. Especially what a pain this car is to drive. To be fair, I guess all the cars in this category are probably going to be a pain. I would assume the Camaro is the best of the 3 that you can choose from. Only problem is the, like, actual real-life Camaro driving one is awful. Yeah, unsurprising, the dodges are all bringing up the rear here. Because it's a Challenger. They aren't made to handle. They're made to look like a classic muscle car and go very fast in a straight line. But yeah, I've been in Camaros before, like to drive them and stuff, and they just, the windows are just so fucking tiny. Like, I feel like basically the entire car is just a rolling blind spot. But they seem like they would be the, I kind of glanced over that. Did it say that I unlocked intercoolers? It must have said oil and cooling. That must have been what it was. Like, I swear it said intercoolers on that screen. I wasn't paying that much attention to it. That's why, like, I didn't notice really until after it already, I had already cleared it. Or it might have been aspiration conversion that it said. One of those two. Oh, we do have these unlocked now. Okay, we definitely want that. Oh, I do have brakes installed on this. Okay. I'm gonna take those off. I assume, like, most of this stuff is gonna put me over the limit, right? No surprise there. Put a better clutch in. Drive shaft, just to kind of try and max it out here. Nope, that'll put me over. Okay. Yeah. And then tuning. We'll drop it 3/10. I think I'll leave all this stuff stock for right now. Or whatever the default setting is for the upgraded parts anyways. Ooh, a foggy track, okay. I will say, as critical as I kind of have been about stuff, the fact that I think basically every track has full weather and time of day now is nice. It's something that, like, really should have just been a thing in these games for a long time, but even Gran Turismo didn't do it for a while. Only, like, select tracks at nighttime, and they didn't... Even then, they didn't usually have, like, full, like, progressive time of day stuff. And you kind of have, like, changing weather and stuff like that. So having that now is, like, nice. You know, if I feel like it should have happened earlier. But like, there are things, as critical as I am about some things about this game and how it is, again, basically the same game that we've been getting since 2013. But, you know, there have been improvements, and, like, again, how much can they improve? It's a track-based racer, right? Like, more or less since 2013, games have basically gotten the majority of what needs to be done right. That was terrible. That was an awful turn. Oh my god. Well, hey, at least it's really easy to improve my personal best for next lap. Yeah, I will definitely finish this game. At least do all the campaign stuff. I'll probably keep it installed for a while because I have no reason not to. Probably won't do any more streams of it just because this is one I'd rather do just on my own, just when I have free time. Just like pick at it, do a few races whenever I'm in the mood to. But yeah, I'll probably keep it installed just to see if they keep adding more tours to it. Mainly that's the thing. I assume there's a car pass again, so I'm sure there'll be new cars added, but again, that's the thing, like, as much as I don't mind the car point system for doing the campaigns, once it gets to the point where it's like, oh, new cars are added, what can I do with it? Oh, right, I have to go drive it for 3 hours to do stuff with it. Kind of sucks. But makes me all the more happy that I've basically stopped buying the Forza games just because they're on Game Pass. Actually, in the past with Motorsport 7 and Horizon 4, I actually, even though they were on Game Pass, I think Game Pass was a thing for Motorsport 7. I'm pretty sure it was. Definitely, I think for Horizon 4. But I was still, like, buying the expensive, like, $100 edition, so that way I would get all of the new cars that get added and, like, any new expansions and stuff. Or, so I thought. We didn't get any of those with Motorsport 7 and Horizon 4. They didn't include those with that expensive edition. You still had to buy it separately, which was annoying. But yeah, with Horizon 5, I just ended up not buying it. Because it's like, it's on Game Pass, whatever. If I really care, then I can buy the expansion DLC later. Or the expansion pack thing, whatever you want to call it later. And then I end up kind of not caring that much. I don't know. Games as a service is a plague on gaming right now. So it just, I really didn't like having to almost like plan my schedule around trying to play Horizon 5, so that way I could try and get all the cars and stuff. Horizon 4 had that too, but I never like cared. I don't know. But I think Horizon 5, since like I was trying to care about it from the start, because I was like, yeah, I want to try and get every car. And then, yeah, I don't know. It just, that game just didn't have staying power with me. I don't know why. Like, it was a ton of fun. I enjoyed it. I guess that's the thing, right? Like, Horizon 3, I took, little breaks from, and then when the expansions would come out, I would go back to it. Horizon 4, I did the same thing, and yeah, it had the like, weekly playlist, or, objectives and challenges and all that stuff. Not quite to the same level as 5, but it had that, right? But I didn't care about it as much. So, like, I ended up taking breaks from Horizon 4, a few times. Just because it was like, yeah, I want to play something else. I don't care. But yeah, I don't know. Something about Horizon 5. It's like Horizon 5 very much was trying to make itself a collectathon. And so that felt like the point of the game. So as soon as you start missing stuff, it feels like you've, like, almost failed. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it another go, though. Because, I mean, again, it's still on Game Pass, so we'll see. Alright, this felt like it handled pretty decently. I guess it should, because we got the better suspension for it. And actually cut out a little bit more weight with the drive shaft and the flywheel. Not much, but it does make a bit of a difference. Actually, I bet you the upgraded suspension weighs less too. I feel like it usually does. Which I feel like doesn't quite make sense. Like, it would make sense, like, for a racing suspension, it would be made of more lightweight parts, but also usually those have to be a little bit more heavy duty because you have a bunch of adjustability and also just being more robust to handle a lot more force being put through it. Although I guess to be fair, you're not usually as worried about potholes on a racetrack. So I don't know. But yeah, like the upgraded brakes also I think cut weight, which like isn't really how that should work. You know, for how aggressively I was overtaking on that turn there, that was actually very clean. Like, yeah, I got tapped by another car that also dove into the turn. Yeah, funny story, that livery will actually get you banned in Forza unless they've changed that. Because in 2020 they had like a big crackdown on cars with Confederate flags, and also the Japanese Imperial flag was another one for some reason. Despite the fact that's just like a very common design that gets used, or maybe I shouldn't say very common, but like that design has absolutely been used on like custom cars a lot. Not even like Forza, like actual real life cars. I get why, because, oh boy, Japan. Yeah, let's not get into that topic. World War II Japan was pretty not good, though. And, like, also, banning the Confederate flag, yeah, makes total sense. Don't know why they wanted to ban white flags from this game, but, you know, it makes sense why they would want to do it, I guess. But stupid jokes aside, it was always a thing of, like, okay, it makes sense why you're doing that, but also, if it's clearly a General Lee replica, then, like, that's not someone celebrating the Confederacy. That's just someone referencing a movie or a TV show, right? Like, that's not one that should be getting banned. But people were getting banned for it, which was pretty stupid. So I don't know, maybe they're, like, allowing that now. Which I feel like should be a common sense exception to that, but who knows. Alright, these races have been a little bit more interesting than the previous championship that I was working on with the Nissan. I'm at least getting a little bit further into the race before I like actually pass everyone. Like on that previous championship, yeah, I probably could have very easily bumped it up to 4 for the difficulty. This one, I mean, I probably still could, but there is also potential for the lead car to just take off on you. Come on. Granted, that might not actually matter too much, so the, to get, like, the full credit reward from the race, you just have to get up to the podium, so you just have to get at least 3rd. Which, even on, like, the higher difficulties is definitely doable. Assuming the AI doesn't completely destroy itself in front of you and you get stuck in traffic. But because it is a championship, my concern is if it's the same car that gets out to a lead, like, 2 or 3 times in a row, then even if you're getting second every time, you'll end up with less points at the end, and then you have to restart. Or actually, I don't know. Maybe if you just have to podium for the entire championship, it's fine. I wish more games would just do, like, proper, like, seasons, almost. In terms of, like, having a lot of races and there being, like, you know, a calendar with, like, exhibition events and stuff in it. Like, the old, I don't know, maybe not even the old, maybe the current games do it too, but, like, some of the old NASCAR games anyways, especially, like, 05. Were just like, I loved the like calendar career structure of it, where there are random little events you could do like during the year, but also like, you know, every Sunday would be, or every weekend it would be like races and stuff and whatnot. It's just I just want something that lets me have like an actual career like season structure. Like, or like more like Formula 1, the F1 games. And stuff like that. I don't know. I just wish it wasn't just like these short little, like, yeah, 5 race championships. Because I feel like the longer seasons mean that it just feels like you can, you know, you don't always have to finish in first. Which, granted, again, you don't always have to finish in first in this. But it feels like, you know, having a really bad race, or, you know, if you turn on physical damage and then you wreck out of a race, right? Or I say physical damage, I mean like actual, like mechanical damage, I guess would be the better term, instead of just being cosmetic damage. So like, instead of just having the scrapes in the front, like you can actually damage functional components of the car. And so maybe it doesn't handle right, or maybe you lose power or stuff like that. But like, you can have a situation where like you completely screw up, you completely wreck the car, and so you wreck out of a race and do not finish. But it's like, yeah, but like, you still got another 10 races, so it doesn't matter. And like, yeah, you can kind of set that stuff up by yourself, I guess. But I don't know. I just wish there would be a game that would actually embrace that without like having to be a licensed thing like NASCAR or Formula 1. Like, Project Cars actually kind of did that. Which was one of the better things that I liked about that game, for sure. Like, Project Cars definitely had its issues. And, yeah, I don't like the developers of that franchise at all. Although I guess they're owned by EA now, so I don't know. Might not even matter. But yeah, I don't know. I've just always liked that career structure more. Oh, interesting. I hadn't even realized, so the, or I think I did notice this once before, but I hadn't, like, cared. So the actual performance limit actually goes up over time as well. That is actually really interesting. Can't quite go up to race tires just yet. We'll do sport tires, just get a little bit more handling out of it. Do some more weight reduction, or some weight reduction at all, I guess. Any of these 100? Oh, that one's 100. Cool. Okay. Just nice all-around improvement. So it's going to be even better handling now, hopefully, but also... Oh, you know what? I didn't look. Do I have Oh, I do have aero. Oh, see, this is that ugly asphalt. God, I hate how you can't, like, look around the car. You have, like, a fixed view. Same with, like, the decal selections or whatever. Or not if you're, like, choosing a design from online. But yeah, that, like, wing is not great looking. I just wish there was some other options for it. And the default, like, Forza front wing is not stellar either, but it's not the worst. I'm gonna have this set to before. I think it was 33 and 35. I think that should be fine for this. I'll leave those as is. Yeah, that should be fine. Alright, next race. I feel like this is probably one of the tracks that, like, I've driven on the most in video games. Just because, like, again, going back to, like, old NASCAR games, I'm pretty sure Watkins Glen was in 05. Pretty sure? Unless I'm misremembering that. Because I remember it being one of the road courses, I want to say. Now I actually can't remember, though. Anyways. But yeah, between, like, that and also just, like, all of the Forzas that it's been in. Because I think it's been in all of the ones since, like, 2013. So, like, 4 different Forza Motorsports. I'm pretty sure it was in Motorsport 5. It was definitely in 6 and 7. Yeah, one of my more played tracks. Whether or not, it's obviously not always been as accurate. I'm sure the old NASCAR games do not have it perfect. Yeah, like this, and... God, I don't even know what else I would have done more. Maybe Suzuka, just because of all the time I spent in Gran Turismo 6. Because that was a pretty common one in that game as well. Because that's the thing, like, there's Indy and Daytona. Actually, I don't think Daytona's in this game. I might be wrong about that, though. I know Indy's in this game. But yeah, like, those have been in, you know, plenty of the games I've played, but I've not necessarily cared about racing on those tracks. I feel like they don't get used a whole lot. Because, like, in the road course version was in actually maybe they had just the regular oval track version too available, but I don't think they ever used it in the career. But it was in the Grid 2. Right, not that Grid, it's just Grid 2. Which actually is a one of the racing games that I've really enjoyed. I completely understand why people were upset about it, because Grid 1 was, like, leaning more into being a sim racer. I think people massively overstate how much of a simulator it was, but it was definitely more sim-leaning than Grid 2, which was basically just an arcade game, or an arcade racer, like Need for Speed or something. But Like, the physics were fun, they just weren't realistic. I really enjoyed Grid 2. And then, what was it, Grid Autosport, which was one of the games of all time. Grid Autosport just didn't have, like, an identity, I felt like. Like, it didn't have any of the personality of Grid 2. So it's just very sterile like Grid 1, but also it was not as good as Grid 1. So, and the AI was pretty bad. Granted, I guess the AI in this is pretty bad too, but I feel like it's more tolerable in this game than it was in Autosport. And then I haven't played any of them since then, because there was the reboot one, which I felt like I barely remember coming out. And I also want to say it was like they had some exclusivity shit going on with Google Stadia or some shit like that. And everyone was just like, what are we doing here? This is stupid. What? And then there's also another one that I completely forgot even came out. That was supposed to be like a sequel to that. Which I know nothing about that game. Other than that, it's probably not going to be very good. Maybe I'll get around to playing it at some point. I'm not really in a hurry on that one. Might try, I think I have Grid 2 on Xbox, because I think it was a Game Pass game, or not a Game Pass, it might be Game Pass, maybe? Or I guess not, technically not Game Pass, but it's EA Play, which is included in Game Pass, at least Game Pass Ultimate. But yeah, I think it was a Games for Gold game a while back. Because, I mean, it's a 360 title. I have a feeling it was, like, probably one of the ones that, was Games for Gold, but, like, during the Xbox One era. Because I think they used to give out 2 or 3 current-gen games, or then current-gen games, and then also 2 to 3 Xbox 360 games a month. Which I believe they're actually getting rid of. Either they're getting rid of, or they've already gotten rid of Games for Gold. Which kind of makes sense. In fact, actually, I think that's how I got... When I originally played Grid 2, it was on the PS3, and I'm pretty sure that's how I got it for PS3 as well. It was a, it was the PlayStation, or one of the PlayStation Plus free games, which was... There was a while there when the, right after the PS4 came out, and maybe even a little bit before it as well, but like the PlayStation Plus games were like all bangers. Like, you got a ton of good games, and then they kind of dialed it back a little bit, and then, I mean, I haven't had a working PlayStation in like 4 or 5 years. In fact, I don't have a PlayStation at all anymore. Somehow I like lost it. I don't know if it's like a box that I like somehow forgot when I was moving or what, but I don't have it anymore, which sucks. Well, it was broken, but like I could have gotten it fixed because it was just the HDMI port was mangled because the move. Oh, I waited too late to hit the gas there, but that's fine because it's the AI that I'm against, so it'll be just fine. Okay, I might get in trouble for that one. No, somehow I didn't. Like, that was absolutely me driving way too aggressively. I'm basically having to track cut a little bit just to try and pass people. What did that car even do? They just randomly lost control, I feel like. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of games I want to do, like, either one-off streams of like this or short playthroughs. Like I mentioned previously that even though I have Far Cry Blood Dragon on PC, like I basically can't play it because it's on a either Uplay or whatever the hell Ubisoft calls their own launcher now on PC. Even though I own it on Steam, but for some reason they're also using their own launcher, so you just use Steam to launch their launcher, which is really annoying. And I just can't be bothered to deal with that for one game. But I realized when I was looking through the games I actually own on Xbox that, speaking of games with gold, Far Cry Blood Dragon was one of those games. So yeah, I can actually play that again. Oh, I'm going to be so excited to play that whenever I get around to it. Yeah, that is really bizarre there. That I do get why I got a penalty for going off the backside of the turn because I didn't slow down enough to make the turn. So, okay, some penalty. It's just weird that, like, I caused probably multiple cars to wreck and didn't get a penalty. I go a little bit outside the lines and I get a second penalty. But just a little weird. That's fine, though, because I will definitely win by more than a second. But yeah, Far Cry Blood Dragon is, like, one of my favorite games of all time. That game, like, it's a very short game, because it was basically just a standalone expansion for Far Cry 3. But, like, everything about it is just, like, so silly and over the top, like 80s action movie themed, that it's just like sci-fi action movie theme. It's just, oh, I fucking love it. It's just so well done. And it's like the perfect length where it doesn't outstay its welcome. Like, I should actually look to see how long that game takes to beat. Because it is basically just like a miniature version of Far Cry 3 in a way. Where, like, yeah, it's the same kind of thing, like you take over bases and stuff and whatnot, but there's nowhere near as many things to do. So, I should see. I don't think that's a one-stream game. I think that's a two-stream game, just because of all the side stuff. It does suck that it's going to absolutely run at 30 FPS because it's going to be the Xbox 360 version, and those games don't actually run any better on when you do backwards compatibility. So if you run it on an Xbox One or a Xbox Series console. So it's not going to look as good as it looked when I played it on PC. Because I want to say the PC version, I just had my settings cranked on it. Because, like, my 660 Ti was more than powerful enough to do it. Ah, the good old days when graphics cards were still affordable. Oh, interesting. I have my alerts messed up and it didn't show that. But, Show Speed, thank you for the follow. I definitely appreciate it. I will have to... I guess it's the first time I've had, like, a really long username. so I didn't realize that it like would cut it off if it had to do 2 lines. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. How do I... There we go. Immediately comes into my chat and is like, hey, here's the best mods for GTA 5. Congratulations, who asked? You can go be an idiot in someone else's channel. Yeah, I definitely want to play through Far Cry Blood Dragon again at some point. And then, I downloaded like a bunch of different like games I want to go back to. I actually re-downloaded Borderlands again, the the original 360 version. Which I knew I was close way back in the day when I played it on the 360 originally. I knew I was close to getting all the achievements. I didn't realize that one of the ones I was missing was one of the arenas that you have to do for the second DLC. So I did 2 of them, but I guess I never got around to doing the 3rd one, because those kind of suck to do. It's like 3 to 4 hours of just shooting shit over and over again. But, unfortunately, even though this is of no surprise because cloud saves weren't really a thing back then, my old saves for the game never carried over. And the save that I have from when I played it a little bit on Xbox One is only like level 7. So, honestly, I might delete that save and then do a playthrough of Borderlands at some point. Specifically because I want to go and get, like, all the achievements in it, just because I'm so close, even though I have to replay through the entire game again. Although, in theory, I only have to do... In theory, you could do that, that one arena mission right at the beginning of the game, actually. Because you can pretty much access all the DLCs immediately, and that one just scales to your level. But it's a lot easier if you're actually leveled up, especially if you're going to use like Lilith, so that way you have some, you can use her phase walk a lot more often, and some of the survival stuff that comes with it. Yeah, I shouldn't be able to just do one playthrough. I shouldn't have to do playthrough 2 on it. Yeah, I hadn't realized what a difference the enhanced edition made to that game when they released that a few years back. Granted, I also played enhanced edition on PC, and not I wasn't. So I was comparing the original PC version to the enhanced edition PC version. So that definitely helps. So now I'm basically comparing the 360 version to that, and oh god, it's like 30 FPS, not very helpful. Always gonna make a game just like look like it runs like crap, but it just even just overall, the visual quality is just so much worse, which makes sense. But I guess I just hadn't realized what a difference there was. But yeah, that's one I might play through at some point. I really want to play Arcade Paradise. I feel like that's a game that I'm probably going to enjoy a good bit. Play through that on stream a little bit. I kind of just generally work through like random Game Pass games. I do also want to go through and play through all the Halos, since I have a good Xbox now. That also can include Halo 5, because Halo 5 is never coming out to PC. Like, literally ever. They've more or less abandoned, or just want to pretend that Halo 5 didn't happen. Which, to be fair, the way they did the story with Infinite, you might as well have, because they just skip everything that Halo 5 set up. But I do like the Halo games. Upgrade to race compound. Can I do upgrade camshaft? Yes. Alright, perfect. Yeah, that's one. And then also I am, with them announcing the release date for the second DLC for Pokemon, I think what I might do, because that comes out, is it like December 16th? It's middle of December. December 14th or December 15th. One of those two. Because I'm pretty sure it's not coming out on a Saturday. Oop. Change my settings again. Let's say to that. That should be fine. God, what was I talking about now? Oh, right, Pokemon. So yeah, I think I might do some more Porygon hunting soon here. And I am going to actually stream my, like, a playthrough of the first DLC, Teal Mask, because I streamed like half of it. And then I just, that's when like I kind of basically just took a break from streaming. Because I just was not thrilled with it, and I was just, at that point, I've just been completely burnt out on Pokemon. Which, you know, wouldn't be as bad if the game didn't suck so much. I shouldn't say it sucks so much. It's not, well, yes I should. It, like, there's potential there, but it's held back by so many just issues that are just like, wow. This game could have been like a really awesome game, but it's Game Freak that made it, so it just isn't. But yeah, so I do want to actually like do a full playthrough of Teal Mask. I'll probably do that on my Violet save. And then, obviously, or I say obviously, we'll see, but I will plan on doing the second DLC when it comes out. And then maybe sometime after that, I will get into doing some sort of other playthrough. Like I've been mentioning, doing like a bug-only playthrough of Shield or something. And try and mix in some more shiny ones. I hadn't actually realized that I never had uploaded the first part of my Alolan Meowth hunt. So I think I'll just not upload that. And we'll just kind of start it over. Or not start it over, I'll keep the previous count for it. Because I only did like 120 eggs or something. But we'll just like restart it in Sword. Because I think for the time being, like other than doing the DLCs, I think I'm just not going to care about shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet. Just the game is just so disappointing. And then at least with Sword and Shield, I can just automate the collecting of eggs, so that way when I do stream it, I can do like 3 hours of just hatching eggs. Like, there's some hunts that are probably better to do in Scarlet and Violet, because like there is I know a spot it kind of ends up being similar to the Larvitar and Bagon Cave, where you can more or less force the game to just spawn Applin in a certain tree. So that'll be like the only thing that spawns. You can, again, kind of similar to Scarlet, or to the Larvitar Cave, where you can kind of just send out your Pokemon, and it'll just keep knocking them out over and over again. And so it'll just keep spawning more and more for the entire sandwich. So like for Applin and its now 3 evolutions, I believe there's a rumor that actually Drifloon evolves again. Which I really hope not, but there seems to be a lot that indicates it. Like I think it may have been patched, but I think there's a glitch that lets you put Eviolite on it. Was that it? I forget what it was. But there was something where it's like, it could just be a glitch, but some item or something or other thinks that it can still have another evolution. So people are assuming that it's going to have another evolution to it in Indigo Disc. Also, who knows if maybe my feeling on doing more shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet changes with Indigo Disc. Because that's part of why I'm like, I kind of don't care right now about doing Alolan forms even. I might try and work on the ones that I can right now. But like just knowing that right now, either I have to go do full odds hunting in Let's Go Eevee, which is not happening. Because since you have to use a Joy-Con for that, there's no way to automate that one. With the using the switch up like controller thing, that is. The one that in theory lets you use whatever controller you want on the Switch, but also has macros built in for like automating, collecting, and hatching eggs and stuff. I don't want to be on the outside of this turn here. I love how the exhaust backfires pretty much every time I let off the gas. Also, I'm like a little surprised that the cars don't have their headlights on for this. This is like kind of dark. Yeah. One of those I'm bound to get a penalty for. I feel like that last one where I kind of sideswiped that one car the one that was going to do it, but I guess not. Again, why are we brake checking for no reason? See, that one at least made a little bit of sense because they were at least entering the turn, even if they really did not need to brake that hard for that turn. Also kind of surprised I haven't even gotten like a warning yet. Especially on that last one, because that was like the third car in the last minute that I had tapped the rear end on. That was a really bad turn. I should be fine, though. I should still be able to catch back up again. I was about to say, too, I feel like on that that first turn for this track, I always feel like I'm nowhere near the racing line, but then it still gives me 10s anyways for the rating. Oh, that's interesting. I felt like before when you re-overtake a car, like if you pass a car, then you get back behind it, and then you pass it again, you don't get more overtake points. But there I got overtake points again for passing a car that had already previously passed. They only got ahead of me because of the me going off the track. Huh. So I wonder if there's like a certain amount of time where you can re-get it. Because also I'm pretty sure I've lapped cars before, and you also don't get more overtake points when you lap a car, which is really disappointing. I guess they kind of want to discourage people from just like playing on the easiest difficulty and running laps around the AI, but also like I feel like lapping a car. Okay, we're rewinding on that one. I went a little bit too far into that turn, which is weird. I felt like it wasn't that far. Oh my god. Okay, apparently it wanted me to rewind half the damn track. Like, yeah, this turn, I usually go into, you know, I start braking later than what the racing line says to. Yeah, like I really feel like that should not have been a 9.5. I guess that corner is just very generous with the ratings. Yeah, I feel like lapping a car should get you not just like another overtake bonus, but you should get like 20 XP for each one you do. Because that's way more impressive than just passing them the first time. I do really like, I forget if this was in Motorsport 7 or not, but the track boundary lines, even though they're obviously not at all realistic, but I mean, neither is this driving line in the zone here. But I like knowing exactly what the boundaries are. Even though I guess usually you can figure it out, but I don't know. Yeah, like that was not a 10. I was coming out of that turn way too wide. Because I gave it too much gas too soon, but oh well. Yeah, speaking of Pokemon playthroughs, I did see recently that Nintendo is kind of... They've changed some of the wording about how they feel about like their games being streamed, and which specifically like mentioning like emulation and stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. Nintendo, as always, very desperate to seize defeat from the jaws of victory, I guess. Yeah, people are really concerned that, besides just emulation, but also like ROM hacks in general, they're like going after. But we'll also see, because technically that stuff has always been a kind of legal gray area. Even though it really shouldn't be. Okay. I took my eyes off of the screen for like half a second, which, you know, probably not the... Again, I wanted to rewind a couple seconds, not like... I guess this probably is like a couple seconds, but that was like fucking, again, like half the track. I feel like the rewinding is very inconsistent with how long it goes. Because sometimes it feels like you barely rewind at all, and then other times, again, it's ones like that where it's like, why am I going so far back? I think in that case it was probably because I was moving so fast the entire time. But anyways. But yeah, like that. Everything with ROM hacks and emulation has always been kind of like a, you know, technically maybe it could be an issue, but like it was kind of assumed that at this point Nintendo understands, like, just fucking don't be stupid about it. Like, you know, trying to like stop people from streaming or uploading YouTube videos of older games and ROM hacks and stuff. It's just like, you're just pissing a bunch of people off and you're making exactly $0 more in doing so. In fact, I mean, because you're pissing people off, people just aren't gonna buy shit. So like, it's just really, I don't know. That's kind of how everyone has assumed that's been, because even, you know, because it used to be there's a whole like creator program where they basically were demanding you give them like 40% of your income from videos that use their games and shit like that, and people were like, what the fuck are you guys doing? This is just free advertising. Like, fuck off. Then they eventually backed down on that, so that's why everyone for a while has been like, yeah, it's fine. Like, it's one of those things where we know Nintendo doesn't like it, but we don't think they're stupid enough to try and pick a fight about it. And to be fair, I don't think they actually have done anything yet. But the fact they kind of changed the wording on stuff has people worried. But one thing that people did mention is that it does kind of give them... honestly, I don't really need more of this stuff. Also, this doesn't have a wide body kit. That sucks. Yeah, we'll do that. That puts me way over. But what I can do is... There. Whether or not I actually saved any weight there in total. I have no idea. But it lets me max out the number, and so that makes me feel better about myself. Okay. Last lap of this tour, and probably last race of this tour, and probably the last one I do on stream tonight. And then tomorrow we can get back into Mass Effect. Yeah, I kind of planned on... Well, not even kind of planned on. I planned on streaming yesterday and doing some Mass Effect. And then I remembered that the last Mass Effect stream I had to actually edit. Because there's the one section where I forgot to... Or I stopped recording because I wanted to look something up. And then I spent a couple minutes doing that, and then so when I went back to resuming the game, I forgot to resume the recording. So I had to edit in the version from the actual Twitch's version of it. Because usually I have a local recording that I save, which is typically, especially for something with like a lot of motion in it, like this game's going to be a great example of that. It ends up being a higher bitrate, since 1080p 60 FPS on YouTube, it's recommended to be around like 12 megabit per second, but Twitch caps out at 6 megabit, so you just get a little bit more bitrate, so anything with a lot of motion will be a little bit clearer in the YouTube VOD. And also stuff where like I have to pause for a little bit to take a break or go to the bathroom and get water or anything like that. Okay, actually this is practice, it doesn't matter. I took my hand off the controller for a second because I had to mute the microphone so I could burp. And then, problem being that it was like mid-turn and I'm like trying to juggle the controller between my hands to like try and brake and also turn and also mess with the microphone. Anyways. What the hell was that? Like, that might have just been the other car oversteering really badly, but it didn't seem like it. It seemed like they just turned in front of me. Again, the AI in this game is really not good. It's like maybe the worst AI we've had in Forza. Again, it could be a difficulty thing, but I feel like it's not that it's bad at racing, it's just like just bizarre. Like it just does stuff that makes absolutely no sense in any circumstance. I was trying to swing wide to go around him. That wasn't an AI problem, that was a me problem. But yeah, so I had to edit that Mass Effect VOD, and I completely forgot about doing it for a couple of days. And so last night I was like, okay, well, instead of streaming, I'm just gonna edit this thing. Actually, I shouldn't even say edit, because it was editing, but that took me like 5 minutes. It was the having to then render that entire thing. Which, with the settings that I have for my computer, or for, you know, when I render, I want this computer and everything, it renders slightly faster than like what the overall length ends up being. Depending, obviously, like how many things are, how many different like clips and things and whatnot there are. But yeah, like it was a 3-hour stream, like a 3-hour and 15-minute stream or something. I think it rendered in like 2 hours and 45 minutes, something like that. So, like, it does well. My computer, like, again, my CPU is honestly fine. Like, it will be better for rendering with a better CPU, but more than adequate for streaming and gaming and stuff. So I don't really need to upgrade it. It's just like some of the other stuff, like resizable bar, that I would really like to have, and I kind of need if I want to upgrade my graphics card. So, but yeah, so I did get that done. I uploaded the VOD, but it's not live on YouTube. It'll go live in the morning. I also still need to make a thumbnail for it. But yeah, so that's why I didn't stream yesterday. But yeah, the plan is tomorrow we'll do some more Mass Effect. That'll be kind of like my main playthrough game for the time being, until I finish it. And we'll mix in... I'll probably do some more shiny hunting, honestly, to mix it up a little bit. Let me make sure that I still have the right tires equipped. Yep. I could, reduce how much fuel I have, because that does reduce the amount of weight in the car. But it isn't going to make a big difference, to be honest. And if anything, I need a little bit of a handicap just to make the racing a little bit more competitive. Yeah, Mass Effect's going to be the go-to. And then eventually we'll get through 2 and 3, and I guess I will have to actually play through all of Andromeda as well, because it seems to be almost... Yeah, game? I feel bad for this Mustang. He went off track, got back on. Granted, he probably should have waited until everyone had cleared through, but... Never mind, I don't feel bad for him anymore. Oh my god. Is this a GTA lobby? What is happening? Jesus Christ. That Mustang is like completely out of control. Thankfully I didn't get a penalty there. I mean, I shouldn't have. I literally got rammed off the track. I do not know what that car was doing. I didn't even see what that was, if it was a Camaro or Mustang. I wasn't paying that much attention to it. Because I was trying to not hit the car on my right. And then I saw that car in front of me and went, oh. But yeah, with the, there was a recent, like, teaser video, as well as, like, a couple promotional images that were put out about the next Mass Effect. And it does seem likely, or not even likely, we're like, you can literally see the new, or the species, the alien species that was introduced in Mass Effect Andromeda, and they're with, like, the other aliens. Well, just the fact that you can see that species at all means that the Mass Effect Andromeda is somehow involved in the new game that'll be coming out whenever it comes out. Because I was kind of expecting it to honestly just end up being like basically like a spin-off. Like, it technically would have been in the same universe still, but, like, because it, like, basically the game is that, the different alien, or all the different, like, races or whatever, and species, whatever you want to call them, they all, like, end up making ARC ships, and then sending them out to the Andromeda, galaxy, cluster, whatever it's called. So, like, you know, it's something that takes a really long time. It happens, like, in the super distant future. Or, the ships go out before the events of Mass Effect 3. But, like, obviously it takes a very long time to travel through that much space. So basically everyone but like the Asari and the Krogan are like cryo sleep or whatever. Anyways, the point is, like they very easily could have just been off and be like, yeah, it it happened, but it has no effect on like the Milky Way galaxy and the events that are happening here. But this new game is apparently going to be also in like hundreds of years in the future after Mass Effect 3. And it is, I guess possible that they figured out some way to travel faster from the Milky Way to meet up with the people who travel to Andromeda. Anyway, so it just seems like, despite the fact that I kind of expected them to not do this, Andromeda is actually like going to be an important story to the next game. So I will actually have to play through Andromeda, which I've played through a good bit of it, but I honestly didn't do that much of the story. I never finished it, obviously, because I didn't do that much of the story. But yeah, I was probably going to do it at some point, but it wasn't going to be like as much of a rush. Like, I was probably going to definitely take a lot more time after Mass Effect 3 before getting into Andromeda, but now I kind of have to finish all my playthroughs, so... But from what I've heard, I mean, as far as I know, the new Mass Effect is coming out after the Dragon Age 4 eventually comes out, I think is the plan. And as far as I know, that is nowhere near release. Like, I saw something that some, like, website or whatever is estimating that Mass Effect 4 or 5 or whatever the new one's going to be called will come out in like 2028 or some shit. I was like, I really hope not. I hope they aren't planning on releasing that game in 5 years. As in, I hope it's going to be a lot sooner than that, because they're already, like, we've already known that they're working on another game. It's not like the recent teaser that they put out was like, it wasn't like out of nowhere announcement. But I think when it was around the time the Legendary Edition came out, so the remaster of the original trilogy, that they had like confirmed, and they put out a couple of like 1 or 2 promo art pieces basically saying like, yes, we're still working on Mass Effect, it's not a dead franchise, don't worry. And that was a couple of years ago, I feel like. Yeah, because I think Legendary Edition was towards the end of 2020, right? Something like that. Late 2020, early 2021, something like that, I want to say. Yeah, I hope that game's good whenever it eventually comes out. I hope Dragon Age 4 is good as well. That's another game that I need to double back to at some point, is Dragon Age Inquisition. Because I played through the entire game. I think I basically 100%ed it on the PS4 version. The only things that I didn't do was I didn't do like the hardest difficulty playthrough. I had started one, and I just didn't get very far into it because I just didn't. Even though the combat has a lot of similarities with Mass Effect, like in that you can basically like stop time and like plan out using your powers and stuff, but I just like never actually used the ability to do that. So it was basically just like an action RPG for me. Just like basic, like kind of hack and slash combat with some abilities. But you kind of have to use that mechanic, the pausing mechanic, in a Inquisition for the hardest difficulty anyways. At least up until there's like a certain point that a lot of people say the game gets, basically becomes easy mode with a certain class. So I just never got up to that point. And then also technically I didn't get my achievement for killing all the dragons because the achievement collection. I did it. I did, as far as I know, everything on my first playthrough. But what I didn't do is I never actually played through the DLC. So I should go back and actually play that at some point. Although it'd have to be on the Xbox version now. But that's fine because, again, it should be on EA Play. So I will just have to buy the DLC, but I would have to do that anyways. But yeah, I also played Origins and Dragon Age 2. Hot take that most people are probably going to disagree with. Origins was trash, Dragon Age 2 was way superior. Don't at me. I understand some of the reasons why people prefer Origins over 2. But Origins I've only finished because when I bought them, I bought Origins, the expansion for it, whatever that was, and then because that came on like its own disc as well, because I bought them used. I bought Origins, the expansion for it, and then Dragon Age 2 for like $20 or something. And yeah, so I only finished Origins because I basically made myself finish it because I was just very bored by it. I found that game so not interesting. But I already had 2. I was already planning on getting Inquisition. I think I might have actually, while I was playing Origins, I might have, Inquisition I think came out, and then I had bought it because I hadn't realized how much I was gonna hate Origins yet. I figured everyone loves this game, it has to get better at some point. It didn't for me. So I got Origins, played some of the multiplayer, enjoyed it, and so I was like, yeah, totally. I have to finish these games now. So I pushed through, finished Origins, then found out that all the achievements for all the DLC were super easy, so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll get those too, because I might as well spend more money. I'm still not quite sure. Well, I know why I did that, because I was very, not achievements, but trophies, but I was very much about doing all that stuff back then. And yeah, did that, suffered through that. I was like, God, please, I hope Dragon Age 2 doesn't suck. Even though I've heard plenty of people say that they don't like it because it's doesn't have much content. And then I love Dragon Age 2. I don't know. They definitely had the issues with the content, honestly, but overall I loved it. Anyways, the point is, now that I'm done with that hot take, I'm gonna wrap up the stream there. Tomorrow we're gonna play some more Mass Effect 1, and yeah, we'll play just some more of that. Oh yeah, I do have the original version as well, which actually I'm not sure why I have that installed, because I have all the achievements in it, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, right, because I'm gonna do Pinnacle Station in that version. Never mind. Yeah, we'll work on some more Mass Effect 1 tomorrow. Probably that'll be tomorrow and Saturday night as well. And then Sunday night, maybe some shiny hunting. Because I probably won't stream this again. Again, this game is it's fun, but it's it's nothing too crazy. If you have Game Pass, definitely play it. If you don't have Game Pass, you're kind of not missing anything, honestly. Unless you really just desperately need a track racer and all you have is an Xbox Series console. Yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I do definitely appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.